All right, welcome in. And if you don't know who I am, I'm Papa Bushka. That's how you say the name. And a lot of people probably don't know how to say the name, but we're gonna get straight into it. I just hate how video game players, or video gamers, I should say, have like they act in a way that they would never, and I mean literally never, act in real life. They would genuinely like yell at you to, like, they would never yell at you to your face, right? Most people won't. Like, in general, that's just not a thing that you do, because like of social norms, you have some understanding of, hey, let's not just yell at people. But in literally specifically video games, they do that, and they don't care. One, because they won't get caught, and two, because you're not a real person to them, right? You're some online voice coming through a transceiver. That's, at the end of the day, that's what you are. You could be as much as an AI bot to them, and they would not care. But if you were to see them in real life and play like a, I don't know, like a team game or something with them, you wouldn't do that, because one, that's not normal behavior. That's abnormal behavior. Which are these freaking notifications that's popping up? Sorry, I don't know if you could hear that, but it's like, and in my mind, a normal human being reacts in a way that is, like, if you're mad at somebody, it's like, hey, let's try not to do that. Let's try to like not do that, and let's try to be better. It's not, oh my gosh, what are you? Just hit my desk. But you get the point. That painted the picture, right? No, I'm not used to doing that, and I almost broke my desk. So you're just not used to that, and it's not normal behavior to be that mad that you're raging at somebody. Now, I rage all the time at a solo player game like Hollow Knight. I was this close to breaking my controller during during the Hollow Knight fight, and not the first one, the one during the Pantheon, because it's aggravating to get all the way to the end of a Pantheon and then have a Hollow Knight just fuck you up because he just did and you're dead, right? So that's normal to experience rage like that outwards to yourself, right? But to do it towards another person is weird behavior.
Oh, fuck you.
F word.
Fuck you say to me, you little shit!
And we have to stop this. Like, people will be like in League, like, and like a lot of these like MOBA games. I play Smite, for example, so it's very heavily it's a heavy thing in Smite that, hey, people are toxic. It is what it is. You can't really stop them from being toxic. The problem with that line of thinking is, why should that be allowed? Like, genuinely on a genuine level, why should that be allowed? Also, I gotta remember to stay close to the mic so the audio sounds better than back here. But why would that even be allowed? It doesn't make sense, because you wouldn't allow that in a workplace, right? And I get it's not a workplace, but I'm not your friend either. Like friends, like they might yell at each other, but it's in more of a joking, playful way, and they know each other on a personal level that they wouldn't be butthurt about it. But to a normal stranger, you would not do that. If you were in an AAU game, or I don't know, some kind of like rec league or something like that, you wouldn't do that either. You know why? Because you're a normal human being with functioning mental skills. I don't really know what what it would be. I don't know. What's that word? It's not emotional intelligence. Yeah, you have the basic emotional intelligence, IQ, I think is what it is. Or EQ, sorry, EQ, not IQ. EQ, to realize, hey, let me not just be a dick to teammates, because you know why? It doesn't make anything better. It's not gonna make me I really think, like, do they just want to get their anger out? Because that's the only possible and understandable thing. Maybe they're like, I just need to yell to get anger out. But a lot of the time, people have to go out of their way to turn on their mics. Most people play on push to talk. So you're actively trying to yell at another person because you want to yell at another person. And that's the crazy thing, is because a lot of people, with people in their life, or if they're at work or something, right, they don't yell at their boss. they'll yell at themselves or at their coworkers about the boss. Like they'll talk behind people's back, and that's a whole nother thing. That's also weird to me. Why would you talk behind someone's back? Just tell them what is the problem to them so they can fix it. And if they don't, then that's not your problem anymore. It's like, hey, okay, then I'm gonna remove myself from the situation, or I'm gonna remove you from the situation, right? If I'm your boss and I tell you, hey, do this, wipe down this, send that, and you don't do it, then guess what? You're packing your bags. And if I have a problem with you and you're my boss, I'm like, hey, can you send me the files? You didn't send me the files yet, so I can't send them to Jerry. And then I'm like, and then if they're not going to do that and they consistently do it late, then guess what? I'm out of there. I'm going to find a new boss or be my own boss, whatever it is. This kind of got off track, but that's the kind of whole point of this is, you know, to get off track a little bit. To ramble, let my head just get all out, you know, because I've been thinking about this. It's only in gaming where you find this kind of behavior, this unruly, this uncouth behavior, because you have a mask. You have a mask. When people have anonymity, their true selves come out. What they're truly like really comes out, because you don't know who they are. It's like when you're by yourself, you might say some of the most vile things, and I think we all have. Now me, I'm pretty sure, honestly. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy like that, but you know, you every now and again you're like, dang, shoot, if I really could become a serial killer, would I? Probably. But I know I wouldn't actually do that. It's just like thoughts of like, hey, how would I plan out like the most successful heist on a bank? You know, like that's kind of stuff you think about, but you're not actually gonna do it because you're not crazy. Only a crazy person would do that, or a very skilled person. Bro, have you ever watched Money Heist? Money Heist is actually so good, bro. Watch Money Heist if you haven't watched it. It's so good, man. But if I could pull that off when I'm like 80, 70, when I got nothing else, you know, shoot, let me go rob a bank. But anyways, yeah, I just don't understand how people, especially people that play games, mainly I guess it's revolving around games. I get it, you have a mask on, but for you to be like, hey, you know what, the best way for me to do this and the best way for me to solve my problem is to go yell at another person. Because why? It'll make me feel better, I guess, but I don't know. It's just so weird. It's very weird behavior. It's very unnormal behavior. Well, I guess it is normal because we normalized it. We said, hey, this is okay to do, but it shouldn't be. Like, if I don't get why gamers don't ban, like, to me, toxicity shouldn't be a thing. Like, oh, people have this thing where it's like being toxic is like, it has to be like something crazy. Like you said, something crazy. No, to me personally, I would call you a toxic person if you yell at another person, or you're vigorously typing like that on your keyboard to call someone trash, garbage, if you are their teammate, one, and two, if it's like excessive amount and you're the enemy team. Like a little bit of trash talk is fine. Like trash talk is fine. That's perfectly normal, right? It's all in good fun. A lot of the time, trash talk. But the problem where it gets out of hand is when it's like, oh, you're just a Riri on top of a BB and top of a DD and top of an NN, right? It's like whoa, partner, slow your roll. You know, slow it down, slow down. I'm back there, and you're all the way up here. And a lot of people think, oh yeah, if you're just like being like mad rude, that's not really toxic. That's just being mean. That's just being, you know, a little bit. That's just who I am. That's just who I am. What do you mean? That's just who you're a rude person in general, bro. It's this one dude in the Smite community. What's it? Weekend. I don't know why I'm over here acting like I don't know that name. I do know that name. I don't know why it just wasn't coming to me for like half a second. I was like, that one dude. But like, it was like I saw it in my brain. But you know when you see something in your brain but it just won't come out sometimes? That's what it was. But Weekend, he's like, his whole thing is, oh, I don't really turn on game chat to yell at people, even though that's sometimes very much untrue. He has definitely told someone, hey, you're doing everything wrong. What are we doing, guys? And you could say that's helpful advice, but let's be real, we know how you're saying it. People don't realize how important your tone is. I swear, it is literally, I literally am thinking about it, and people just don't understand tone. They don't understand your tone can be disrespectful. Like, oh, like okay, here, for example, you're really good at this game, man. Like, you're genuinely like the best player I've ever seen, right? That's not, well, like for me, it's kind of hard because I have this kind of like monotone voice, so it always sounds like I'm being sarcastic. But it's like, yo, dude, that was actually a sick play. Good job, right? Normal voice. I tried my best. It's really hard for me. My friends get pretty annoyed at me because they're like, dude, we can't tell your tone. You have one tone and it's always sarcastic. And that's kind of true. I don't know why I'm like that. It's just is what it is. But sarcastically, dude, I was literally the best play I've ever seen. You're so good at this game. Totally not bad. Right, like it sounds more sarcastic. Also added some, a little bit differences, but like if you just type that into something, it's like, oh yeah, he's saying you're good at the game and you're not bad. Best play I've ever seen. But it is all about your tone and how you express it to another person. And I genuinely hate that. Oh, okay, I got a little bit off topic there. Now I'm talking about Weekend, but like literally when he says that, it's like the most like mind-boggling thing. Is like, no, dude, you don't say you don't ever go into game chat and talk crazy to people. Sure, you don't talk, he doesn't talk crazy, but let's not say you're not like a little bit toxic. And that and he says, oh, that's who I am. I'm not gonna change just because of these comments. And then he also says, in real life, I don't talk to anybody. Like, I watch his stream enough to know like a few things about him. I don't even know if I can watch him anymore because, bro, he that's a whole different topic. I'm not even gonna go into it in this. But right. So it's like, where was I? I was on the point of like, he was like, oh yeah, that's just who I am. I'm not gonna change who I am for someone on the internet, right? Blah 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 blah. I am who I am. Blah 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 stuff. You don't actually know me and I'm real friends. This is parasocial. He really overuses that word parasocial. I'm not gonna lie. It is to the point where I don't even think he knows the actual meaning of parasocial. It's like, because he just uses that word willy-nilly. But in my mind, right, when I'm thinking of people that are good people, and he says he doesn't talk to anybody in real life, like he's like, he doesn't like to go outside, he doesn't really like talk to people like that. He sounds introverted. I would assume, I don't really know him obviously, but from what he says, I'm assuming that he's an introvert and he's just kind of chills in his own lane, probably talks to his wife and kids. But outside of that, like, he has a few friends that he probably calls up every now and again, but he's probably not going out to the club doing all that, blah 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 blah, whatever. Or going to like the park to play some ball. So, but if you're at, and one of his also other things is that's very important to connect, that took me 2 minutes to get here, is because I'm just all over the place. He also says it's very likely, like whenever someone acts like toxic or like whatever online, or is like, I don't know what rude to him, like not on his side about something, he's like, it's very likely whenever you act like this in a game, you're probably acting like that in real life. It shows a lot about how you act in real life. If you're gonna cheat in a game, you're probably cheating in real life. Who knows what you're cheating in real life if you're cheating on the small stuff in life? It's not really what it even sounds like, but that kind of like what he sounds like. But right, so, but to me, is like, if you're toxic, if you're very demeaning, I should say demeaning, that's a good word, not really sarcastic, but demeaning in how you say things, like, oh guys, what are we even doing? Like, why would you even be there? Like, what am I even watching? Like, he'll say that in game chat, but he's not toxic, right? But tone, I already went over that. Tone is everything. So So it's like, if you're like that in game chat, something that doesn't matter, it's a game, right? That you don't care about, what you've said many times that you don't care about that, then how are you going to act when you do care about something? And it's someone that's in front of you that actually matters, right? Something that matters. So, right, the little things build up into the big things. So if you're acting like that in a game, in game chat, on a game that you say you don't care about, is meaningless to you, and it holds no weight. Now, what do you think you're doing in real life? Probably being demeaning. I don't know if I'm using your logic, right? And I do think it holds to be true. Like, I think that's good logic. And like, yeah, if you're most likely, if you're doing something in one part of your life, it sometimes transfers to another part, but you can say about anything. I think usually things just transfer from one thing to another thing. Not perfectly, granted, even though sometimes he acts like it's perfectly. Adjusted my mic there, but this kind of got off topic. This wasn't supposed to be a weekend thing. I think it just got started because someone in my someone dodged, no, not dodged, they were being like mad toxic, and then they left one of my Smite games, and I was just like, bro, I gotta make a video about this. Like, it's so weird that people act like this, dude, and it's like an excessive amount of like craziness. But yeah, that's it. Just stop being dickheads, guys. Just stop being a fucking dickhead. I'm out. Let me close ABS.